cabin chime dings. The seatbelt light blinks off. Your thumb settles on the buckle. Click. The strap slides away. Air feels wider than it did a second ago. You've sat still through turbulence and takeoff. You obeyed the little glowing sign. Now the aisle is open. Not everything is allowed, but movement is. Maybe freedom isn't a hallway with no walls. Maybe it is permission to rise, to breathe, to follow the voice that says now. You look down and notice how easily the belt stayed on after the light went dark. That was habit disguised as wisdom. Stop calling fear wisdom. What if the Spirit turns off a light you learn to ignore? Where would you move if permission found you first? Freedom isn't a hallway with no walls. It's the click that lets you move. I kept the belt on 10 minutes after the light went dark. I told myself it was caution. It was fear with a better outfit. The habit made sense during turbulence. It kept me still when the cabin shook. But after the chime, the same habit turned into a cage I carried. I know that feeling on the ground too. I keep rules that no longer apply. I rehearse apologies for problems that never happened. I overplan so I can avoid obeying. There is a quiet trick our minds play. When a pattern kept us safe once, we promote it to policy. Then we follow the policy long after the danger has passed. Last month I watched a line of people stand at an automatic door that had stopped opening. A side door was propped open 10 steps away. Most of us waited anyway. The line felt safer than a new path. Fear fastens. Familiarity tightens. Permission speaks softly. Spirit of the Lord, unbuckle what fear fastened. This is your captain. The aisle is open, but the aircraft is still in motion. You may move about the cabin. Translation: permission with presence, freedom with guidance. I used to think freedom meant no belts and no rules. Now I think freedom means the right belt at the right time. Takeoff requires restraint. Obedience requires movement. So I name my belt approval hunting, doom scrolling, the spreadsheet that tells me when I am allowed to trust God. Some restraints were for takeoff, not for life. It was never welded to me. It was waiting for a click. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, freedom is not theory, it is air. Presence creates freedom. Paul names that presence on a road he cannot predict. Compelled by the Spirit, he goes toward Jerusalem. He admits he does not know the specifics that wait around the bend. Trouble is possible. Purpose is certain. Bound by the Spirit is not bondage. It is guidance with oxygen. Here is the simple weave. Presence creates freedom. Freedom moves with guidance. The sun secures that freedom. No condemnation powers the movement. If the sun sets you free, you are free indeed. Not weekend free. Not mood free. Blood signed. Bone deep. Aisle open. There is now no condemnation for those in Christ Jesus. No condemning voice sitting in the jump seat with a clipboard. No probation period where you prove you deserve to be unbuckled. A different law is in effect. The law of the Spirit of life sets you free from the law of sin and death. New atmosphere, new gravity. The same aisle, but your feet do not feel welded to the floor anymore. Seatbelts were engineered for takeoff and for storms. They were never engineered to become your identity. When the light goes dark, the same design honors movement. God's order does not shrink your life. It grows your capacity to move with Him. So we do not worship the belt. We do not worship the aisle. We worship the presence that turns signs on and off at the perfect time. We breathe. We rise. We move. Name the belt. Say it out loud so the air can hear it. Call it what it is, not what it pretends to be. Contingency planning that keeps me from praying. People pleasing that keeps me from telling the truth. Endless inputs that keep me from a single step. Put a finger where it lies across your chest. Feel how light it is when you stop defending it. You cannot heal what you refuse to name. Click. Choose one act so small it insults your excuses. Send the text that makes peace. Trash the tab that trains your panic. Put the spreadsheet away and ask the Spirit for today's line, not the year's map. Stand up from the chair and walk to the threshold that scares you by 2 paces. You don't need a runway to obey just the click. Pause and check the panel. Permission still includes presence. Movement is not a sprint, and guidance is not a cage. Keep the belt within reach for storms, but do not wear it as an identity. Stand. Let your spine lengthen like a runway lit one lamp at a time. Uncurl your hands. Let your breath drop lower and steady. Standing is worship with legs. If you cannot stand yet, rise by a sentence. Spirit, I will move where you point. Expect counter voices. Old policies will file appeals. They will quote your fears as precedent. Answer with the new law at work in you. No condemnation. Life in the Spirit. Aisle open. Now link the 3. Name. Click. Stand. Repeat as often as the chime sounds. Spirit of the Lord, you are our air. Where you are, freedom breathes. We confess we kept the belt on after the light went dark. We called it prudence when it was fear with polish. We loved the policy more than the presence. We believed condemnation was a safety device. We let old storms write new rules in our bones. Spirit of the Lord, unbuckle what fear fastened. Compel us like you compelled Paul. Tie our hearts to your direction, not to our dread. Make guidance feel like oxygen, not like a leash. Let obedience be movement, not performance. Jesus, Son who frees indeed, sign this moment with your mercy. Break the clipboard of accusation. Cancel the probation we invented. Install the law of the Spirit of life, where the law of sin and death felt inevitable. Open a spacious place inside our chest. Steady our breath until it remembers who holds it. Teach us the sound of the chime. Train our ears for your now. For the belts we still need, give discernment. For the belts we no longer need, give courage to click. For the aisles you open, give humility to move without spectacle. Today we refuse the worship of restriction and the worship of rebellion. We choose the worship of presence. Lead us one aisle at a time. Before you move, take 5 slow seconds to breathe. Whisper, Spirit, lead my next step. Listen for the chime within. Name the belt. Click. Stand. Choose 1% act you can finish before this minute ends. Send the text. Close the tab. Walk 2 paces toward the threshold you fear. Small is holy when it is obedient. Keep the belt nearby for storms, not as an identity. Permission still includes presence. Hear the ding. Trust the light. Take the aisle.